Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is DJ Brown, for those of you who do not know who I am. Hey, listen, man, this is another episode of my YouTube channel, man. I'm glad to be putting out more and more content for you guys every single week. Now, listen, this week I am not in my usual spot, and I'm not doing this episode the way how I usually do it. I'm a lot more laid back. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just giving to you guys raw because I felt the push to do it. So I'm just gonna jump right in. This week, what I'm really gonna be talking about is a relationship with God, part 2. I'm bringing it back to you guys. But what I'm specifically gonna be talking about in this week's episode is relationship versus religion. Now, this is a big one, and I know that, for some people you may not know what I'm talking about, but for others you may know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, and I'm going to share things from the heart and what God put in my spirit to share with you guys. So just like always, if you take a moment just like always, if you listen up, I promise it'll only take a moment. So guys, religion, when I even looked up kind of to see what the dictionary would say what religion was, I found that it said it was a system of faith. And I found it very interesting that it said that, because that's kind of what religion is. That's exactly what religion is. Actually, it's a system. It's something that's constructed for you to do. It's a set of rules. It's something that you have to go by. Religion is something that God never really intended for his people to be instructed under. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that God doesn't have a way of living in ways that he wants us to do things, but it was always supposed to come through relationship. We receive our instructions through relationship to God and to Jesus. And that's the connection part I was telling you guys about last episode, in relationship with God. See, and it's very different, because when you have to go by something that's man-made, it's faulty. There's things in there that is opinionated, that is driven by emotions or driven by ulterior motives. But when you have connection to God, you get the purest form of God. So I'm not saying that, for those of you who think differently, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to follow teachers or people who teach the Bible and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying, though, is that when it comes to yourself, always choose relationship over religion. And I'll give you a prime example why. So we are currently phasing out of a pandemic, or we might still be in it. Who knows? There are some people around the world who, when we couldn't go to church and be in that physical building, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to reach God. Despite being in church for 365 days out of the year last year, a lot of them still didn't know what to do. They were lost. Why? Because they were used to following a set of rules and following a system that told you this is how you do faith, instead of actually connecting themselves to the God who created us. In referring back to last week, not doing that defeats the whole purpose of us being alive in the first place. If we're just going to follow a system and follow just what other people are telling us, how could we know any of these things to be true? How could we know it to be real? I could understand why certain people who don't believe in God say, how could you believe in a God you can't see? They say that because they're thinking of a system of faith. But when you actually have the real connection to a God who is real and who is alive, then I think that without question, you can say, yes, I can trust in a God I can't see, because I can feel him, I can hear him, and I can see him in other things all around me. So guys, I encourage everyone to choose relationship with Jesus Christ instead of choosing religion, because religion will not do anything for you. It can't help you. It is only a concrete set of things, set of rules that we created as human beings, and it was not what God intended.
Guys, if you waited all the way to the end and watched the entire video, I just want to say thank you for your support. And as always, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I told you it would only take a moment.